everyone. I'd like to bring this meeting of the Jacksonville Beach Planning Commission to order. If you have a roll call, please.
David Dahl.
Here.
Margaret Murray.
Here.
Greg Fetton.
Here.
Colleen White.
Here.
Justin Lerman.
Here.
Emily Stoffer.
Here.
Nicholas Andrews.
Here.
Commissioners, you have before you the minutes from the meeting on August 22nd. Do we have any comments, any requests for change, or do we have a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And Callie, did I do that right, or should that have been a roll call?
No, you're fine.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have any correspondence?
No correspondence.
Do we have any old business?
No old business either.
All right, Mr. Copley, may we begin with new business?
Your first application is PC 20-22. It's a conditional use application. The property owner is 831 First Street North, LLC. The applicant is Vera Duran. The request is for conditional use approval for the transfer of outdoor restaurant seating at an existing restaurant location, and a new conditional use approval for a package sale of beer and wine for a property located in the Commercial Limited C1 zoning district pursuant to section 34-342D4 and 34-342D20 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code. The subject property is an existing restaurant located in the C1 zoning district and is located on the southeast corner of the intersection of 1st Street North and 8th Avenue North, adjacent to the Atlantic Ocean. The proposed conditional use would allow for the continued use of the existing outdoor seating and allow for the package sale of beer and wine for off-premise consumption. The site is the former location of Southern Kitchen, and prior to that was Sea Chasers. The site has several past approvals, including relief from parking standards for related rear addition. The approval of these conditional use applications will not negatively affect the surrounding area. Adjacent uses include multifamily to the north, south, and west. The proposed use of outside seating and package sales is consistent with the C1 zoning standards and has been, is terribly written, and is consistent with the surrounding commercial development. Based on the provided application and analysis stated in the report, the Planning and Development Department recommends approval of PC 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Copley. For those in the audience, here's how we kind of do our business. As you've heard, Mr. Copley has given us results of the Planning Department review and recommendation. After that, we're going to hear from the applicant. We'd like you to tell us about your project and tell us how you feel about what you've heard from Mr. Copley. We may have some questions for you, and then we'll open it up to members of the public who might want to share stuff with us. We're always interested in hearing from folks that either support or do not support the application. So with that, may I ask the applicant to please join us at the podium?
Please raise your right hand. State your name and address for the record.
Vera Duran, 77 Cargill Grade, Palm Coast, Florida.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
Do you have anything to add? Would you like to tell us about your
I
project?
would like maybe to take a few seconds to tell you a little bit more about the whole project. Once I purchased the property, a lot of local residents, I mean, it's a very close community, all very welcoming. Everybody has been phenomenal, and they always tell me that the previous owner failed in one way or another. They couldn't really appear to the nearby residences, and therefore I decided to keep what they have in place and also offer the packaged beer and wine for the local residences to take home. In addition to coffee, cheeses, sandwiches, salads, things like that. So that's the idea. As you're familiar with the building, it has in a sense, multiple areas. It's kind of subdivided into 4 different areas. Upstairs is more of a fine dining atmosphere. downstairs more casual. And then by the beach, it's more of beach entrance, even more casual. So that's what I'm trying to do. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Do my fellow commissioners have any questions for the applicant?
Mr. Popley, is this all one, or is this split up into different businesses, or?
It's a single business. There are just multiple levels that are kind of segregated internally and have separate entrances. You can pass from one to the other internally, but
Yeah.
they're all one umbrella ownership.
So you plan on continuing the finer dining upstairs? And
Yep, I actually wrote menus for you to look at. We're thinking one menu downstairs and one menu upstairs. Everything is done by one big large kitchen on the first floor. So this is going to be our downstairs area menu, and this is upstairs. And everything is going to be safe.
Other questions for the applicant?
That one's definitely the upstairs menu, right?
Yes. So we're trying to get more of a, depending on what you're in the mood for just something quick and easy, you can walk, with your bathing suit, or if you want to dress up and kind of sit down with your family. So, separate.
Further questions? Thank you. Members of the public, do we have anyone who would like to address us either in favor or against this application? If you do, we'd ask you to please fill out a speaker card. Show us that.
I didn't fill out the speaker card though, but I can.
You can fill one out after you speak, just make sure you give it to me before you leave.
Okay.
But I have to swear you in first, so please raise your right hand, state your name and address for the record.
Julia Donahue, 111 25th Avenue, South Jacks Beach.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, to help you God?
I swear. I think it's going to be a great addition to the community. There really isn't like a grab and go like sandwich place, especially near the beach like that, where they're going to offer picnic baskets and different fun things for the local community. And if we're working at home, we can go by and grab like a salad. So I think it's going to be such a great addition to the community. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to address the commission? Please, go ahead. And again, we'd appreciate it if you do so.
I will fill that out.
Please raise your right hand and state your name and the address.
My name is Laura Goldie. I'm at 122 4th Avenue.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, to help you God?
Yes. I also agree with Joy that this will be a fantastic addition to the already beautiful establishment that she has opened here, the grab and go. I saw a sample of what it would look like a week or so ago, and it's elegant and tasteful, and I love the idea of having the picnic baskets and being able to buy something quickly to be able to leave with it, and I don't think it will detract from the neighborhood. In fact, I think it will be an incredible enhancement to our neighborhood and our community.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? Thank you for those comments. I'm going to bring it back to the commission. Do we have discussion?
Mr. Popley, do we have any record of any, I know we had a lot of discussion back when this development was done in its current state, a lot of concern and discussion around parking, specifically, and noise, specifically as it related to the adjacent condominiums. Any record of any issues there?
Nothing came up in my search. I don't know, we queried the police department, which would really keep track of noise complaints, but as far as parking, aside from, I think maybe once when I've been there, observed any real peak parking issues. They have the area to the rear and the side, as well as the city parking they're allowed to use, so I'm not aware of any issues.
Thank you.
Can I add something?
Certainly.
Yes, I just wanted to point out that I hired a valet parking company on the busy nights, so they can help with the traffic control in the area.
Any further discussion, commissioners? Do we have a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
Do we have a roll call, please?
David Dahl,
Yes.
Greg Sutton,
Yes.
Colleen White,
Yes.
Justin Lerman,
Yes.
Margaret Murray.
Yes. Your application has been approved now.
Thank you.
Mr. Copley, can we have the next one, please?
Your next application is PC 21-22. It is a conditional use application. The owner is ALO Management LLC. The applicant is Colton Bristow. The location is 391 First Avenue North. The request is conditional use approval for the transfer of an automotive repair shop use, which would not include top, body, upholstery repair, and paint shops, for a property located in the C1 Commercial Zoning District pursuant to Section 34342D20 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code. The property is located at the northeast corner of First Avenue North and 4th Street North. The property was previously approved for conditional use for automotive repair in 2012. The proposed use would be a continuation of the previous automotive repair use. The site includes a metal industrial building with fenced parking area. Based on the property appraiser's data, the structure was built in 1988. The applicant is proposing to use the structure as it has been used in the past for automotive repair with the prescribed limitations for the C1 zoning. Adjacent uses include a commercial catering facility to the east, multifamily uses to the north, behind the building, and a large church complex to the west, including a school. There's also an undeveloped lot for parking and storage to the south. The proposed use of automotive repair is consistent with the C1 zoning standards and is consistent with the surrounding commercial and institutional development. Based on the provided application and analysis stated in this report, the Planning and Development Department recommends approval of PC 2122.
Thank you, Mr. Copley. Maybe hear from the applicant, please?
Hi, how you doing?
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address for the record.
Colton Bristow and 2438 Blackbeard Drive.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Sir, do you have anything to add to what the planning department?
I just moved south from Mayport, so I'm just trying to make everything out here as best I can, do everything right, do motorcycle and car repair, specialize in older motorcycles, and really I'm just trying to do the best I can. Not really sure what else to add to that.
Do you have questions for the applicant? Thank you, sir.
Yep, thank you.
Would anybody like to address the commission on this item? Please join us, and please do fill out a speaker UTR.
Please write to me. Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Jennifer Pico, 1507 Declaration Drive, Jacks Beach.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes. I've known Colt for a while. He's helped us with many bikes. We actually have a Coastal Auto, we're an auto repair shop. And anytime customers have come in for motorcycle repair, we've always sent them over here. There's over 30 motorcycle shops in Jacksonville. There's one here in Jacks Beach. So over 600,000 motorcycles in Florida, we probably have at least 2,000 here. So trying to get repair work done here in Jacks Beach, you have to go all the way in town. especially as many people we get up down A1A. Some of the people that we referred over there were just passerby, chain broke, something happened with their bike, and they have to go all the way in town. So it's just not feasible. We've actually been trying to help Colton fix up the shop because I guess the previous place had a lot of junk cars and everything else. So we've already helped them pressure wash the building, fix the fence, make sure everything looks nice, tight, and clean. We were going to put a brand new wood fence, but y'all have a 4-foot wall, which had an existing 6-foot chain link in place. That was grandfathered in, so we just fixed that up to make it look nice, just because safety of customers' vehicles. But he's really trying. Willard's is right next door. Willard's has been there, so there's no competition. We love Willard's. So, I mean, it's no competition whatsoever. He's not one of those hot rod kids. He's literally pretty quiet, to be honest with you. So, I think it'd be a great addition to Jack's Beach to have another motorcycle repair shop, especially he specializes in Harleys. So a lot of people out here have Harleys and nowhere to go but in town to get it done, which means you have to have it towed and everything else. So I think it'd be a great addition.
Thank you, ma'am. Would anyone else like to address us on this issue? Ms. Jones?
Please raise your right hand and state your name and address.
Troy Hobbs, 334 2nd Avenue North.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. So I just wanted to reiterate what missed the young lady's name, but yes, there's no place to get a motorcycle fixed around here. They previously, it's been several years, but the McHughes had a motorcycle shop there that was very handy. My boys, when they were younger, they had dirt bikes, and there's literally nowhere to take your bikes. So I'm right behind Colton. I introduced myself. I've known him. He's been around for a while. He knows my kids, and everybody knows each other. But yeah, as soon as I met them, they were pressure washing the building and working on the fence. And it's been an improvement from the previous tenant, who constantly had cars outside the fence, parked along the street, oftentimes sticking out into the street. So from my perspective, Colton seems like he wants to take care of the place, and I know he's already fixed the fence and cut the grass and pressure washed and all that. So I think it would be a nice addition to the beaches area to be able to have somewhere to take your bike, and Colton seems like he'd be a great neighbor. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Anyone else care to address us? With that, I'm going to close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission. Do we have any discussion?
Just a question for the applicant one more time. Is bike repair and car repair?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Popoli, I know we had a lot of discussion back before. It seems like we've seen this a couple of times going way back, probably before your time. Any issues or any reports of anything as far as cars in the right of way? Because I know we did have some concern from the community before.
There were issues in the past with cars being stored there and making their way out into the right of way. As one of the citizens that spoke said, they have cleaned up that site since the previous tenant is out of there. What they're proposing to do, I think they understand that everything needs to be within inside the fence and inside the building. So
Yeah, and I would think if there's a cycle, predominantly, sounds like it was predominantly cycle repair anyway. I don't imagine you're leaving those out there. They won't be there the next day.
Necessarily.
Any other discussion, or do I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
May we have a roll call, please?
Craig Sutton,
Yes.
Colleen White,
Yes.
Justin Lehrman,
Yes.
David Dahl,
Yes.
Marty Murray.
Yes.
And those 3 people that didn't fill out cards, make sure you grab one from the table and turn it in before you leave.
So your application's been approved.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
What do you get, David?
I haven't really fully decided that one yet.
He was seeing if it was approved.
Yeah, I was waiting to get through the first part.
I was trying to get his hopes up.
Colton's?
Yeah, Colts Customs maybe. Not sure yet.
Official.
Mr. Popoli, may we have the planning department report?
Yes, I have 2 items for you guys. We do have the new application for Adventure Landing, which you should get later this week in advance of the hearing, which will be the 26th of September. Heather's asked me to extend to you guys the opportunity if you'd like to have one-on-one meetings with her and I to go over the application. You can email me or Leanne or both, and we'll get that on the schedule. Sooner would be better, just because our calendars are full right now. So if you could get back to me and sometime this week about if you want to have a meeting, we'll try and schedule those. But you will be getting the application this week, and then the hearing will be the 26th.
Is there, I'm interested in a group session and save your calendar time. I don't know if that's open.
Well, I mean, any discussion we would have to be in a hearing like this, so we would have to advertise and notice that.
Yeah.
Mr. Copley, can I just sort of remind my fellow commissioners that this is a different kind of application. This is an amendment to the comprehensive plan. This is much more, it's just different. We don't see very many of these. It's way different, as my fellow commissioners mentioned. So I do sort of recommend that you at least consider being brief, just the staff is being willing to do. So thank you.
The other thing, the comp plan and land development code public hearings are going to be in October. The planning commission and the board of adjustment will be meeting together. It's looking like towards the end of October. We're hoping to have those dates finalized relatively soon. We're going to send out a link to a dedicated website for the project, so the dates will be on there once we get that finalized. But looking at the schedule for the various different groups and trying to fit council in there, we're looking at towards the end of October for you guys. So they'll all be on Thursdays for the most part, because it's the only night we don't typically have meetings. And they will be in the evenings, aside from one hearing that the board's going to do, or the consultant's going to do with staff, which we'll do during the day since everyone will be here. But for you guys, it will be an evening meeting, and it will be on a Thursday.
Thank you, Mr. Copley. May I also ask, is there still discussion about changing the time of this meeting?
So we probably need to have a little bit more in-depth discussion with council about that. Since council has gone to in-person briefings, and they're being held on the other side of that wall, the microphones carry into that room. And so having a hearing here while they're having a meeting there is almost impossible. So if we do want to try and move the meeting times, we may have to move the meeting days, which would require an amendment to the code, because this board's meetings are dedicated in scripture in the code right now. So we have to look
I presume we're considering moving the commission briefing as well.
I'm sorry?
We would consider moving the commission briefing as much as we would consider moving this meeting.
That would be up to the city council, because they're probably not. They were doing them virtually and decided to go back to in-person, and because they're open to the public, that's the space that they have available. So I don't foresee there being an opportunity for those to change unless for some reason they decide to, but they're aware of the conflict. And
It sounds like we need to have some discussions with some council members.
Feel free. But yeah, I think we'll need to see if that's something that we can work out, or if we need to explore other times for this meeting, if that's a priority for you guys to meet earlier.
Well, I'm not sure that we even.
Right, those are the options, so.
Whether or not we want to change it, but you had mentioned that there was discussion that it might be changed. So I
Yeah.
just think we're not-
We'll set it up for an agenda discussion sometime in the future, and kind of poll the board and see what they're interested in, and see if we've got some other options that we can iron out ahead of time. All right, that's all I have.
Is there anything else?
Can I give you guys some flowers? Sure.
Good luck. Great.
Thank you.